What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. Of course, you are watching TWA Motorsports, and today I know that we kind of cut the last video short when we picked up this new to me turbo Silverado, but I've got receipts, I've got some information from the old owner, and I wanted to talk to you guys about some of the stuff that's done to this. We're going to look at it. I'm going to rip it up and down the road a little bit. I have not even gotten a good chance to do that. I tried to do it in the last video, but it was dark, so we're gonna give it a shot today. But anyway, yes, we picked up this turbo Silverado, and I told you guys at the end of that last video, the original plan was for me to take all this stuff off, move it to the Tahoe, and I think that is something that you guys definitely want to see, and I really think that's what we're going to be doing, as a matter of fact. I have no desire to fix this truck. Somebody made the comment, you should run it in a class, and I don't remember what the race is, but there's like a clunker class, and that would be kind of cool, but it would also be cool to do that in the Tahoe. So I may look into that, to be honest with you, if we can get that done on the Tahoe. But I was going through some of his receipts, and I sent him a couple texts last night. I will tell you guys, he sent me several receipts, some of which I tossed because they were like random like hose clamps at O'Reilly's and whatnot, but he spent a small fortune on this, starting with like the transmission. So you guys know, he put a 4L80 in it. He told me it came out of a van. It's just a stock 4L80. He bought a stock converter. That's one of the receipts that I've got here for 180 bucks, just a stock 4L80 converter. But I noticed he had two receipts here for a 4L60. So I think, and they were like 600 a piece. I don't know if it was like, and they were within 2 days of each other. So I don't know if he like tried to do the 4L60 option and that just wasn't working. So I've got a couple receipts for that. Aside from that, the rest of it's like the innovative controller, the two-step. He did, though, however, tell me, I've got receipts here from an engine shop, okay? And he did a polish and balance, short block, cam bearings, main bearings, rod bearings, hone and pack. I also, however, have receipt from the 6-liter build where he put Eagle rods in it. So it's got Eagle rods. It's got a set of cheaper forged pistons, but the motor in this thing is a 6-liter with stock crank. I'm gonna pop the hood and look at it here. But stock crank, Eagle rods, and a set of forged pistons. So that covers the block itself. Now, he did tell me, I asked him last night, I said, what heads? They're just a set of stock 317 heads. Now, it does have ARP head studs. Honestly, guys, as much as I don't want to mess with anything, I would really like, because it's a dish piston, from what I'm reading as far as research off the pictures he showed me, because it's a dish piston, I think the compression is super low on this, and I know a lot of people like to do that when they boost one, but it's kind of lazy out of boost, it feels like to me. We'll see here in a minute, but I think it would be a little more peppy if we had like a 243 head on it. That would drop that compression a little high, or make the compression a little higher. Sorry, not drop it, but make it a little higher. And so I think that may be something that I look at when I take this motor out. But yes, that is the plan as of now. Other than that, it looks like it's got just a set of stock plug wires. It's got some decent plugs in it. On 3 turbo kit. Now, he did tell me that the turbo kit, he didn't know a lot about like what parts it came with because he bought it as a complete kit. So hot side, cold side. He did just recently put a 76mm turbo on it, so that is the size of the turbo itself. Aside from that, everything else came with the kit. So he bought the fuel pump and he wasn't sure. I think it's probably like a 255 or a 340 like Warburg pump. Injectors also came with it, and I can't see those things really well. I think, guys, they're Deca 60s is what they look like to me. They're Decas, but I don't know if they're 60s or 80s. He did put an Aeromotive fuel pressure regulator on it. So he split the factory lines on these trucks. They had 2 lines that ran in on the older trucks, which we're gonna have to do something with that because mine does not have that. It looks like you got a fitting to go to the fuel pressure regulator. So we'll have to figure something out as far as the fueling on the Tahoe because it's a different setup. It's a single line, whereas the older school ones had 2 lines. Catch can, he has an vacuum reference spot so you can plug in multiple vacuum lines because you generally only have a few options as far as that goes. But I think that covers everything under the hood. Like I said, stock 4L80, and that's when the transmission started to slip is when he decided to give up on this project. He also put a set, or I think he kept the stock gears. He said he put a different rear end in it, but he put a true track in the back of this thing. So other than that, on the inside, I think it's got an air motive, or no, it's got some aftermarket boost gauge, and then it's got an innovative air fuel ratio gauge. Manual fans, electric fans that you have to push the button to turn on. I think I talked about that in the last video. And then the two-step is wired on that button. But okay, so originally I told you guys, we're gonna go for a rip in it in just a second, but originally I told you guys I was planning on taking the motor and transmission out of this, putting it in the Tahoe, taking that motor and transmission and trying to, well, I guess not the transmission, because this is a technically supposed to be a four-wheel drive truck. He just took the transfer and front differential out. But I think honestly, guys, the money it would cost me to put this thing back to stock, it's probably going to make more sense to just take the parts off that I want and then sell it as a roller. The truck, while it is rust-free, to get it back to four-wheel drive, trying to source a transfer case, a transmission for a four-wheel drive because I don't have one, all the stuff, the miscellaneous stuff that I may need, I think I'm going to spend more money than what I want to sink into this as far as like a shop truck. I really want a red shop truck though, because both of my tow trucks at the shop are red. I've got a rollback and then a tow truck, and they're both red. So I really want a red, and I want it to be a Chevy. So I'm still on the hunt, I think, for one of those. But I think this thing will sell for, I don't know, maybe $1,000 with no motor, no transmission. And what I will do is, my dad's been looking for a 5.3 swap on his truck for a long time. So we may down the road put the Tahoe engine, once we get all this done, into his truck. So let's go for a rip in this thing and see what it's like in somewhat daylight. We're gonna attempt to go for a rip in it here in the daylight. I'll try to show you guys the gauges, maybe to look at the gauges while we're going down the street here. I'm just gonna go down a little ways and come back. Get warmed up a little bit, then I'll turn the camera back on. I can feel the trans slipping right there. Definitely got something going on with the transmission. Maybe I can get a good rip up to red line. I don't know, we'll see. I went up the red and turned around. Temperature seems somewhat warm at this point, so we're going to stop, try to lay into it a little bit and see what it does. Hopefully it doesn't get real crazy, because I hate filming with one hand and ripping on a car with another, but I really need it to be down in first gear. I don't know how quick the boost will come on. Don't know anything about this truck. Comes up pretty quick. Oh boy. We'll give it another rip here and see. Oh, it makes me laugh, I'll tell you that. Okay, I probably better pull it back in. So we just got back for a rip, and you can see Cohen pulling in his truck. If you guys have not seen that truck yet, white extended cab turd is what I would call it. But anyway, that thing kind of rips, as you can see. I still think it's a little lazy and like out of boost. Like, so when you first get in it, I don't know. You know, one of the things when you're dealing with the boosted application, it's always scary to take something out for the first time, because he did tell me that he had it remote tuned by a reputable shop out of Texas, which is good, to be honest with you guys. I don't know where that innovative wideband is hooked in. I think that is what that other thing is on the dash. I don't know if you guys saw that wire running across the top of the dash, but I think that goes to the whatever he had hooked up, like logging this thing. So what he was doing is similar to what I've done in the past, and on like Cohen's car and back when I had the ZR1, I would put a wideband in, hook it up to my HP tuners, we would go out for a rip, and then I would send that file to my tuner. He would make the adjustments, send it back. And it's kind of nice when you're not a tuner, guys. I'm not a tuner. I can screw a lot of things up, I'm sure, but I don't want to risk it. But after talking to him and him saying that he went through several revisions, I felt pretty comfortable about ripping on it just then. But I think it's going to be a blast. I think it's going to be really fun in the Tahoe. It's going to kill me to take it out of this because it's like running and driving right now. So I think what I will do is I will start the process on this, clean up some stuff. You guys know how I am about, like, I'm going to paint the valve covers and make it look nicer than what it kind of looks right now. I'd like to have a quality install. You guys, I mean, you obviously know how I do things. So it's going to take me a little bit of time, but I think it'll be a fun project, and I think you guys will really, really enjoy it. And then I don't know, can I still call it Goldilocks or the Tickin' Tahoe after that? I just don't, I don't know. So we will see when we're going to tear into this. I've got some other stuff going in on the shop right now that I would like to, that I'd like to knock out before I take another car and make it not run. I'd like to renegotiate maybe where some stuff's sitting in my shop right now in order to make this all happen too. So maybe I can knock, the Trans Am's very close. I'm just waiting on another part. You guys will see that soon. If I get that where I could probably lift it up, put the 55 under it, and just renegotiate some stuff out here so I could get everything in and like start this project. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about the future of the ticking Tahoe. There's also some other stuff that's probably gonna happen before that goes down, or it may happen in the meantime, but I'm gonna show you guys the entire process of me pulling the red truck apart. I'm gonna show you the process of pulling this apart, but there's some other stuff that I wanna do here before we're ready to set a motor in it, as you can see. But anyway, if you did enjoy this video, please, like always, smash that thumbs up button. Guys, if you are not subscribed, go down and hit that subscribe button. Of course, like always, ring that bell notification. That will notify you every time we drop a new video. And stay tuned to see what we work on next.